What's up, my people, and welcome to the SN95 Power Channel. Today we are doing another product review. Now, what I've been trying to do is just find some, diamonds in the rough, I would say, as far as cheap, good quality bolt-ons that you can do for your single overhead cam 4.6 Mustang. So I reviewed the headers. Even though those were for a dual overhead cam motor, I kind of was setting that up for the engine build for Project Kendra. If you haven't checked out that video, check out the reveal video of the new Mach 1 motor that's going into Project Kendra. But, I've done turbo headers reviews, I've done the long tube header reviews, and now I'm going to go to the induction side of the motor. And I found this cheap throttle body. This is $40. It's not even $40, it's $37. So it's allegedly 75 millimeters. It's allegedly a direct bolt-on for 96 through 04 Ford Mustangs. So how bad could it be? It's $37. Something comparable from BBK is, I think, around $200 to $300 for a 75 millimeter throttle body. Now, I'm not expecting a 15 to 20 horsepower gain out of this, but if you are building your 2-valve, you're going to want to upgrade your throttle body. And could this be a good alternative for you instead of paying up the wazoo for a BBK? So let's find out. Let's bring them on, ladies and gentlemen. All right, here's our throttle body, and unlike the last video that I did like this, I did not show you me unwrapping or opening the box. The turbo headers were a disaster of packing, and let's check out how the packing is for this throttle body. Now, a lot smaller, a lot compact part, so technically, it should be better and easier for the vendor to pack it, but you never know. And as I thought, really no kind of protection. It's just a box and some, little plastic popper thingies. Now, tell me in the comments, am I being a little too picky over this packing? You can see in the box where it kind of got, jostled around. You can see the imprints, even here. But am I being picky? All right, so let's see what else we got here. The part where, the casting on this, it feels rough. The inner diameter, the inside casting is fine. Spring action feels good. Honestly, this might be a keeper. Now, we'll have to see how well it seals up, with this fully seated. But so far, so good. So we'll get this over to the car. We'll put it on. And we'll see. Set screw. Now, what I would like to do, the plan was to buy this, throw it in the car, put it on the dyno, and just see what kind of power improvement it would make. Now, we still might do that, but since we have a sponsor supplying us with some bigger and better stuff for Project Kendra, I'm not sure if I'm going to do that. So we might just have to do the good old butt dyno. And actually, I might just end up doing this as a giveaway. The turbo headers, you know, I really feel bad doing that as a giveaway and something happens. It would kind of be like use at your own risk. And honestly, us SN95 guys, we wouldn't be able to use those turbo headers anyway because you can't even mount the turbo on that header without removing the alternator. But for this, we'll see how we'll check the fitment out, and like I said, we'll do the good old butt dyno, and I'll do a giveaway on this. So if it passes the SN95 Power quality assurance test, then we'll give this away. So let's get this over to the build garage and throw it on. All right, so for installation, they don't give you a replacement gasket. So I've had some gasket material lying around, so I'll make my own gasket. First things first, let's remove, you don't have to remove this whole thing. I'll break it here and here, take these two off, that'll pop off, and then I can access the 4 bolts for the throttle body. Let's remove this tension spring. Let's see, we got cruise control, and then the throttle cable. It's all fairly simple stuff. Cruise control cable just pops up. Throttle cable, you kind of take the slack, or you open the throttle body and you just start at the back end of this, push down and pull it out. You'll get a feel for it. Throttle position sensor, that's got to come out. That's just a tab. Pull that. And I believe these are 4 number 8s. That's it. So don't laugh at me, y'all, but I left my other toolbox. I left my toolbox at the other garage, so I gotta use this 1/2 inch ratchet to take off this little 8mm throttle body bolt. So the gasket actually stayed on that side, so I'm not going to have to make another gasket. All right, side-by-side comparison. Is this actually bigger than that? So, inside diameter right about 3 inches. This is like 2 3/4. So yeah, okay. A little bigger diameter, but this has the horse on it. Look at that. No Mustang. That's worth 15 horsepower right there. Now we'll have to see if this is going to give us idle issues. Backside, close to the same. Backside of this, it's smaller. So is it going to be worth it? I have no tuning capability on this, so I can't tune my dash pod. I can't tune. It's a lot of things that you can do to help idle quality as far as tuning, but you know, outside just messing with the throttle stop, which you're really not supposed to do. I'm at the mercy of the ECU right now, just to see how it likes this or not. If it doesn't like it, then I'm gonna take it off. If everything feels fine, then we'll roll with it. So let's take the throttle position sensor off, swap it over, and finish the install. You know, sometimes getting this throttle position sensor off can be a pain, especially if it's never been changed before. It's slotted, so you want to get that slot in between there and slip it on. All right, just test it out, make sure nothing's going to bind up. And let's just go back to install it on the plenum now. I think while I'm at it, I should do the spacer mod, because now this thing has like a lot of slack in it. Don't know if I can do this with two hands, but let's see if I can get that focused. That's the throttle body cable right there. And you just see all that slack that's in it. So what I want to do is remove a lot of that. What I want to do is remove all that slack out of this cable. So that little retainer right there, it's like a little retainer clip. I want to pull that out and stack something behind it to take the slack out of it. All right, so basically what I did is just broke the half of a butt-in connector, electrical connector. That yellow piece is just the insulation. I split it in half and threw a couple of tie straps on it. And so that's what you can do to take all the slack out of this throttle pedal. And so now that's really just the only slack it has. And that's full open. So let's take a look from the top side. So at first this cable had all kind of slack in it. It's nice and tighter now. I mean, there's just a hair bit of slack, but a lot better than what it was at first. So now it's just buttoning everything back up. Start it up and see how it responds. All right, we got everything back installed. Let's double check connections, make sure that's fitted all the way around. Throttle body, turn spring, cruise control. And I say, all right, let's start her up and see what she does. All right, so let's give this a whirl and see what happens. Like I said, I have no tuning capability on this, so I have no idea how it's going to react or the idle is going to settle down to. Right now, it's idling about 1100 RPM. It's coming down a little bit. Cold start. Well, actually, not as cold start. I did pull it in the garage today. So let me drop it in gear. See what happens. Drop out of gear, see where it recovers to. Right around 1,000. Give it a little blip of gas. No check engine light. The good thing is, though, when I drop it in gear, it's commanding, I would think, you know, it's hard to tell without having this hooked up to Tuner Pro. So I'm at a stoplight. The idle's gonna drop down a little bit lower. neutral or in park, looks like it wants to be right around 1,000 RPM. Idle isn't hanging. That's a good thing. Let's take it for a test drive. So no check engine light, which is good. Now, is this 5 millimeters or however much bigger this throttle body is? Is it going to give me a big boost in horsepower like some of the companies claim? I doubt it. I'll probably see 0.0002 horsepower increase out of this. But when you pop your hood, you know, you can say, hey bro, check out my cool throttle body. In the sum of a full bolt-on 2-valve, sum it all up, this is something that you'll have to do. You'll have to get a bigger throttle body. So far, no check engine light. The idle isn't hanging up. I like to call that cruise control action. Like, you give the car some throttle and you come off the gas pedal and the car continues to pull. That's the dash pod being off in the tune. We just like to call that cruise control. The one thing, probably the biggest difference that I did out of this was taking the slack out of the throttle cable. You know, that's a pretty common modification that you can do on any of these modular motors, any of the SN95 modular motors. I mean, I'm not really test driving for like seat of the pants increase or anything like that. Right now, I'm just kind of making sure this doesn't throw any codes as I'm driving it around, because I won't have to take the time out to stop and swap this throttle body on the middle of I-65 as we're going down to Ponies in the Smokies. I really didn't think that there would be a seat of pants performance increase. But coming from a stop to throttle, you can feel that crisp throttle response. Just because, like I said, it had so much slack in the cable at first. Side note, the iBox Sport lines make this car feel and look totally different. I guess before we head out to Ponies in the Smokies, I got some, I still have the wet sand the front bumper. A couple little spots I have to do a little touch-up paint on. I'll do a video revealing how that looks, how Project Kendra looks going down there to Ponies. Like I said, I wanted to do the corporate bumper, and I bought it from Amazon, and it really sucks. Like, this company, they didn't pay for return shipping. So it wasn't an Amazon deal with some third-party company. And to send that bumper back, the bumper is only like $200 and something, and I'm sure shipping costs, even though it's in Michigan, is going to cost like almost 50 bucks because of how large it is. But yeah, the Sportline springs, huge difference. Taking this turn right here, and she's planted. turn that the bird took at like 80 miles per hour without a hiccup. You know, normally that same turn, you know, you get a lot of body roll and the car just didn't feel stable taking that turn, but works great, you know. Big ups to those iBox Sportline springs. All right, so wide open throttle pull right there. No check engine light. Does the car feel faster? Probably not. Like, if I take it back to Mike at TNT and throw it on the dyno, would I probably see 2 horsepower out of the throttle body upgrade? Probably. So like I say, in a grand sum of doing a full bolt-on Mustang, and when you're trying a 2-valve, when you're trying to squeeze every bit of horsepower to get to that 300 rear horsepower, this is something that you'll have to do. If it's something that you're putting on by itself without any other support mods, you're not gonna feel a difference. The only thing to do is just make your engine bay look a little bit nicer. So tell me what you think. This is, gosh, almost like a month later of me actually getting around to installing this. But I give it a thumbs up for as far as for the price and what you get for it. You know, no drivability issues. The idle is still the same. But if you've done a dyno from just a throttle body install on a 2-valve Mustang, leave a comment and let us know what kind of numbers you got out of it. I think once we with the 4-valve and Project Kendra, I'll just do this throttle body as a giveaway. Like I said, I think it was like $70 or something like that. So real nice upgrade for your 2-valve Mustangs. Hey, Ponies in the Smokes, we'll be hitting the road this Wednesday. I don't know when I'm going to drop this video. I'm going to drop the video before we leave. So I'll probably drop this video Tuesday. But we are hitting the road for Ponies in the Smoky on Wednesday. We have our meet and greet Friday night at 6:30 at the, I believe it's called the Axe Tavern. It's literally 5 minutes away from the convention center. So hang out at the convention center, come kick it with us for a while. We have a giveaway. We are giving away a CJ Ponies gift card. I've got a t-shirt I'm going to give away. Sean, Asphalt Iron and Customs, he's giving away a t-shirt. So come hang out with us. It's going to be a great time. It's actually one of my favorite events for, you know, not just the car show, but everything that goes on around there. So, hey, I hope to see y'all down there. Make sure you say hi to Kim and I if you see us. Hey, until then, stay safe and God bless.